Hello, you're tuned into Nightline with me, Nakia Basharuddin. News making the headlines. Age limit for pucca B40 lowered to 40, says Health Minister. And 9 dead, 16 injured in Ohio mass shooting. We begin the bulletin with our headlining story. The age limit for recipients of the Healthcare Protection Scheme for low-income B40 group, pucca B40, has been reduced from 50 to 40 years old. In making this announcement on Sunday, Health Minister Datuk Sri Zulkifli Ahmad said the move is to enable more people, especially from the low-income group, to take up the health screening facility and get treatment early. The Health Minister, speaking to the media in Temerloh, Pahang, said the decision was made at the recent post-cabinet meeting. In addition, the decision was reached because thus far only 40,119 individuals of age 50 and above has been utilizing the facility nationwide compared to the 800,000 people as the set target. According to the statistics, Datuk Sri Dr. Zulkifli said Sarawakians had the highest number of B40 using the facility, followed by Kedah, Pulau Pinang and Perak. The total allocation for the implementation of the pucca B40 pilot project, which began in April, was at 100 million for 800,000 individuals, but the number of those who took up the health screening is still low. Teaching other forms of calligraphy from other cultures apart from khot in schools can be considered. Education Minister Dr. Mazli Malik, who said this on Sunday, noted that he welcomed the suggestion proposed by Chinese association leaders that all schools learn about the calligraphic arts of the various races. The minister further said the idea was interesting in context of calligraphy as an art form.
Itu menarik untuk diperbincangkan, memandangkan di dalam pendidikan seni pun kita menitik beratkan kesenian daripada pelbagai kebudayaan, daripada pelbagai etnik di dalam Malaysia.
The Education Minister spoke to the media after the Prime Minister's Debate Cup finals in Kuala Lumpur this morning. He also noted that he had a discussion with editors of Chinese dailies today to explain to them in detail the ministry's plan to introduce khot in schools and gave his assurance that the move will not burden both teachers and students.
The Prophet realized that the importance of...
Meanwhile, Yayasan Dakwah Islamiyah Malaysia, YADIM, has praised the government's move to introduce khot, a form of Malay Arabic calligraphy, as part of Bahasa Melayu subject for Year 4 pupils from next year. In a Facebook posting on Sunday, YADIM President Nik Abdul Aziz said the move would bring back Jawi, which was previously the writing script used for the Malay language. Nik Omar also congratulated the Education Minister for his effort in introducing the art of khot in schools. This came a day after Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad said that the decision to introduce the art of khot as part of Bahasa Melayu subject for Year 4 pupils from next year was final. Tun Dr. Mahathir also said the government had never barred other races from preserving the written script of their mother tongues, and as such, introduction of khot should also be respected. The National Union of the Teaching Profession, NUTP, on Sunday called for the abolition of the Ujian Pencapaian Sekolah Rendah, UPSR, taken by Year 6 students. In a statement, the union said UPSR is unnecessary and adds more pressure on students. Its Secretary General Harry Tan said that abolishing the UPSR will reduce the pressure on students and change the perception of some members of the public who regarded A as a benchmark to gauge the quality of a student. He, however, said that doing away with the examination did not mean that students will not be evaluated, especially when it comes to a spot in a boarding school. He said they can be assessed through tests set by their respective schools and not based on a nationwide examination. Tan said that the NUTP was prepared to assist the Education Ministry in improving the mechanism for grading students. He said the union was in favor of doing away with the examination when the plan was first announced in 2016. Tan said that the then Education Minister had said a decision would be made the following year, but to date, Tan said the ministry has remained silent on the matter. UPSR was introduced 33 years ago to replace the Standard 5 assessment. Johor Menteri Besar Datuk Dr. Sahruddin Jamal on Sunday apologized for the continued pollution in its Pasir Gudang district that has jeopardized the health of locals there. The State Health, Environment and Agriculture Committee Chairman gave his word to improve weaknesses that have caused the health crisis to prolong since March.
Ketika pencemaran udara yang berlaku pada 20 Jun lalu, kami di peringkat kerajaan negeri mengambil berbagai langkah-langkah keselamatan dan pencegahan bagi memastikan semua penduduk terjejas mendapat pembelaan sewajarnya dan keselamatan serta kesihatan para pelajar terjamin. Bagaimanapun saya akui, mungkin ada beberapa perkara yang mungkin boleh diperbaiki, dan sebagai Ketua Negeri, saya dengan rendah diri memohon maaf kepada penduduk Pasir Gudang dan berjanji kami semua akan berusaha untuk memperbaiki segala kelemahan yang ada.
The Menteri Besar said this at a town hall meet on the air pollution in Pasir Gudang earlier in the day. Datuk Dr. Sahruddin said the state government was better prepared to deal with the most recent air pollution in June by taking preventive measures against a bigger disaster. He also asked the residents to stop the blame game and pleaded for time to fix the pollution problem. In Sarawak, its chief minister on Sunday said the state government has paid back a 350 million ringgit to Putrajaya, which is the first phase of the 1 billion ringgit loan repayment. Dato' Abang Johari Tun Openg said that now that the Sarawak government has paid the first part of legal mechanisms as required by the federal government will implement what they have promised, and that's to repair and rebuild dilapidated schools in the state.
Biaya itu sudah selesai. The next is I want them to implement because the money has been given 350 million. If you say give, then I do. Now I have given, you must do it.
Dato' Abang Johari spoke to the media after launching Zone 2 of Gabungan Parti Sarawak GPS in Kuching earlier in the day. Finance Minister Lim Guan Eng had recently said that the federal government was ready to disburse 350 million ringgit to the Sarawak government to repair dilapidated schools in the state, but only after the latter paid back the same amount first. Lim said the Sarawak government still owed Putrajaya 2.352 billion ringgit as of June 30th this year, adding that the repayment of the 1 billion ringgit would mean the debt to the federal government would stand at 1.352 billion ringgit. The federal government had agreed in principle to accept the 1 billion ringgit loan payment by the Sarawak government for the repair of dilapidated schools in the state, subject to 4 legal mechanisms which were agreed to by both sides. Federal Territory Minister Khalid Abdul Samad said there would be no compromise if it was found there was negligence on the part of the parties who were responsible for the maintenance of the elevator that crashed at the People's Housing Project (PPR) in Kampung Kerinci, Kuala Lumpur on Friday.
So benda ni memang kita akan siasat, so tak perlu takkan ada cover up lah. Ya, kalau ianya merupakan hasil daripada kecuaian ataupun tidak ada kontraktor yang tak buat kerja dia ke apa ke dan sebagainya, semua tu akan terbongkar. Ya.
Khalid said this after launching the Fly the Jalo Gemilang campaign in Putrajaya on Sunday. In the incident, 8 people sustained injuries after the lift they were in malfunctioned before plunging from the 5th floor of the building. Khalid also said he understood there was a discussion between the Kuala Lumpur Mayor, the elevator contractors, the Department of Occupational Safety and Health on Saturday to discuss future actions, particularly with regard to the installation of elevators in new buildings. Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir on Sunday congratulated Lembaga Tabung Haji TH for its commitment and effort in providing better services for Hajj pilgrims each year. Tun Dr. Mahathir also said that Malaysia is proud to receive praise and recognition from the government of Saudi Arabia and other Islamic countries over the achievements of TH, which has managed Malaysian Muslims' Hajj pilgrimage well. Speaking at the sending-off ceremony for a batch of Malaysian pilgrims at the TH complex Sepang Selangor, he also hoped that TH would continue to be committed to improve the level of its services.
Sekali lagi, saya ucap syabas kepada tabung haji atas komitmen yang telah diberikan dalam usaha mengekal dan menambah baik kualiti perkhidmatan kepada jemaah haji setiap tahun. Saya harap tabung haji akan terus komited melangkah ke hadapan dengan usaha-usaha untuk meningkatkan tahap perkhidmatan baik dari segi pengurusan haji, simpanan dan pelaburan agar ia sentiasa berada pada tahap yang cemerlang dan menjadi contoh kepada negara-negara Islam lain di seluruh dunia.
Dr. Mahathir further explained that Malaysian pilgrims were among the most fortunate compared to pilgrims from other countries due to the services that were provided by TH. He also urged Malaysian pilgrims to adhere to all the health advice and guidelines recommended by TH and the Ministry of Health to maintain good health in order to perform their religious obligations properly.
Catch the auto segment every Friday on Nightline! Woo!
Still to come on Nightline, driver patient killed after ambulance skids on highway. Do stay with us. Welcome back. A Malaysian man was arrested at Chennai International Airport on Saturday after attempting to smuggle diamonds worth 22.5 million rupees or 1.34 million ringgit into India. Officials of India's Air Intelligence Unit, AIU, questioned the 48-year-old man after he arrived from Kuala Lumpur and recovered many bundles of diamonds from his luggage. In a statement, the AIU said they acted on a tip-off that precious stones were likely to be smuggled from Malaysia. 2 white packets were also found in his innerwear and 8 inside a cooker in his checked-in luggage. The 10 bundles contained 55 white mini Ziploc packets in which the diamonds were hidden. The passenger told Indian custom authorities that he was supposed to deliver the diamonds to a person outside the airport. However, no one turned up to collect the consignment when he was taken outside the airport and watched by police from a distance. Malaysia's Consul General in Chennai, Saravanan Karathihayan, said Indian police are further investigating the matter. In Perak, 2 people were killed and 3 others injured when the ambulance they were in crashed into a road divider at kilometre 368.4 of the North-South Expressway in Ipoh, Perak on Sunday. The deceased were identified as a patient being rushed to the Slim River Hospital and the ambulance driver, while the injured comprise a doctor, a nurse and the driver's assistant. The crash is believed to have occurred when the ambulance driver lost control of the vehicle while rushing the patient to the hospital. A Perak Fire and Rescue Department spokesperson said their bodies were handed over to the police while the injured victims were taken to the Slim River Hospital for further treatment. In Selangor, police detained 115 motorcyclists in an operation to check mud pit early Sunday morning in Port Klang. The operation, conducted by South Klang Traffic Enforcement Division, also saw authorities issuing 207 summonses to motorcyclists for numerous traffic offences. In the 3 a.m. operation involving 44 police personnel, a total of 43 motorcycles were also seized. Police said it will continue to monitor and take legal action against illegal motorcycle racers or mud pit for causing public disturbance, including those who perform dangerous stunts and riding against traffic. Over in Sabah Tawau, Marine Police managed to foil an attempt to smuggle in 1,270 cartons of contraband cigarettes in an operation dubbed Ops Gelora Khas. In the 7:30 p.m. incident on Saturday, a Marine Police team who was conducting surveillance around the Batu 4 waters spotted a suspicious-looking boat lurking nearby. However, the skipper, upon noticing the police presence at the area, immediately sped off towards Indonesian maritime border. A sea chase then ensued, and the team saw a man hurriedly throwing their loads into the sea while trying to escape into neighboring countries' waters. While the smugglers managed to slip away, the police seized 1,270 cartons of contraband cigarettes, estimated to be worth about 38,100 ringgit. Coming up, Jakarta hit by major power blackout. We'll be right back. We're back with the foreign news. Tens of millions of people on Indonesia's heavily populated Java island were affected by a widespread electricity outage Sunday after the state utility PLN reported disruptions at several power plants. The shutdown plunged buildings in the sprawling capital Jakarta, home to some 30 million people, into darkness and forced the temporary closure of its new mass rapid transit system. The blackout, which began around noon local time and was expected to last until early Monday, caused sporadic disruptions in mobile phone services and cash machines, while some apartment buildings were left in the dark. Outages also turned off some traffic lights, aggravating the capital's notorious congestion. PLN said the blackout was caused when a gas turbine at a major power plant went down and by a disruption at another facility. However, the electricity is expected to be restored before midnight local time. In Ohio, United States, at least 9 people have been killed and 16 wounded in yet another mass shooting incident. According to authorities, the shooting occurred in the city's Oregon district, a central neighborhood known for its nightlife. The suspect, who was shot and killed by responding officers, has not yet been identified. But during the incident, the subject fired a long gun with multiple rounds randomly while he was making his way towards a bar. The incident was over quickly as officers were already patrolling in the vicinity when the gunshots started. The shooter's motives were not immediately known. However, police believe the suspect acted alone and that there is no remaining threat to the community, but the investigation is ongoing. The incident in the early hours of Sunday came just hours after another mass shooting occurred in El Paso, Texas. Earlier in Texas, a gunman armed with an assault rifle opened fire on shoppers at a packed Walmart store Saturday, killing at least 20 people and wounding 26 others. According to authorities, many of those in the busy store were buying back-to-school supplies when they were caught up in the rampage, which came just 6 days after a teenage gunman killed 3 people at a food festival in Northern California. The suspect, who was earlier taken into custody without incident, was identified as a 21-year-old white male from Allen, Texas, a Dallas area city some 1,046 kilometers east of El Paso. El Paso Police Chief Greg Allen said authorities were examining a manifesto from the suspect indicating that there were a potential nexus to a hate crime. They, however, declined to elaborate and said the investigation was continuing. The FBI, meanwhile, has opened a domestic terror investigation into the Texas shooting. In Vietnam, at least 3 people were killed while another 13 were reported missing after Typhoon WIPA slammed into the country's northern coast, bringing heavy rains, flash flooding and landslides over the weekend. According to officials, Typhoon WIPA made landfall at around 10 p.m. on Thursday in Quang Ninh province, home of the UNESCO World Heritage Site Ha Long Bay and the neighboring Hai Phong city. It weakened into a tropical depression on Saturday, with rain continuously falling in the capital Hanoi into the evening. Around 800 soldiers from the Army and National Militia have been deployed to assist with disaster relief in the northeastern provinces, where communities are expected to experience more dangerous flash floods and rock slides in the coming days, with up to 400 millimeters of rain expected in the region until early Monday. Action from the Malaysia Cup. Stay tuned. We're back with sports football, the Malaysia Cup. 2 group matches were played on Sunday night. In Group C, Perak beat Sabah 3-0, while in Group D, Malacca United beat Police 3-1. In Ipoh, it was Brendan Gunn who opened the scoring in the 40th minute to give Perak the 1-0 lead. Careca then doubled the lead for the hosts on the 50th minute before Leandro dos Santos added the third in the 90th minute, sealing a 3-0 victory for the Boscarus. The win put Perak on top of the Group C with 3 points after 1 match. And that item wraps up Nightline this time around. We'll leave you with visuals of thousands of ATV riders cruising through the streets of Berlin, New Hampshire for the 10th annual festival celebrating the four-wheeled vehicles. With that, I'm Muhyiddin. Thank you for watching.